Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Our reading in Matthew chapter 23 and then also our reading in Romans 2 go hand in hand. In both of these chapters we have the unrighteous self-righteous being condemned. In Matthew chapter 23, it's Jesus bringing accusation against the scribes and the Pharisees, who he calls hypocrites, for a long list of things that they were doing wrong and how they wanted the high praise of other people and they wanted to be seen as righteous in the eyes of others, but all the while they were harboring unrighteousness within their heart. And they felt like they were righteous, but really they were unrighteous in the way that they lived and the motives that they had, the way that they were treating people was completely against God's will and against God's heart. And so we could call them the unrighteous self-righteous. And that's a very bad combination, very dangerous combination. We see it again in Romans chapter 2 with those who would look down on the Gentiles after the Apostle Paul goes in Romans chapter 1 to talk about the moral decline of the nations and how they had exchanged the Creator for things in the image of the creature, and then also exchange the truth for a lie, and then just the bottom falls out morally with the nations. The Apostle Paul is addressing the Jews in chapter 2 and saying, look, you are without excuse, every one of you who passes judgment, for in that which you judge another, you condemn yourself. For you who judge practice the same things. And so here again, the unrighteous, self-righteous being brought out. These are the people who were self-righteous in their own eyes. They felt that they were righteous, but all the while they were actually unrighteous. And that becomes a very deadly combination. And it's these type of people that bring the most dishonor and can do the most harm to the name of God, because he would go on to say in verse 24, for the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you, just as it is written. The name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you. And that should really sober us. We who claim to wear the name of God and follow after Christ, we hold a very heavy responsibility because we represent God everywhere that we go. When people see us and they know that we are people of faith, they know that we're believers, we represent the God that we serve. And if we are hypocritical, if we are hypercritical, if we're self-righteous, and all the while harboring unrighteousness, if we are the unrighteous, self-righteous, that's being described in Matthew 23 and Romans 2, we bring great dishonor to God's name. We can do more damage to God's name than even the most wicked sinner in the world. Why? Because the most wicked sinner doesn't even claim to follow God and is not even connected to God. But we are connected to God. We claim to be children of God. We claim to be followers of Jesus Christ. We claim to be the people of God. And when we act in a way that is arrogant and boastful and self-righteous, and then all the while we're mistreating people and we're being unloving and uncaring and being involved in all different types of sins and just having our heart blackened and darkened within, that brings great dishonor to God, because because we are connected to him. We are his children. It's kind of like just real, like physical children. Other people's children can't really dishonor our name. Other children might be wild, they might be crazy, and the way that they act don't really affect us as far as our reputation, the way that people view us. But if our own children begin to act in a very disruptive way and in a very rebellious way and in a very distasteful way, that does reflect on us. Our children have more capacity to bring dishonor to us than any other children in the world. And the same thing is true with God's children. So again, we should take that very seriously. Everything that we do reflects back on God. And the way that we live really does shed certain lights on God and really influences the view that people have of God. Because the people out in the world aren't necessarily going to be sitting down reading their Bibles, but they are reading us, and they're reading the way that we live and the way that we interact with people. And so we just have to be very careful in the way that we act so that we represent God properly, and that we really do reflect his image and show his compassion, his grace, his love, his mercy, to show his care, and to let people see what a wonderful God that we serve, and to really demonstrate who he is through the way that we live. So hopefully our readings today will strike us in a very good way, in which we will do some self-reflection and see, in what way am I honoring God's name, and in what way am I causing people to blaspheme God's name? Am I truly representing God? Am I truly representing Christ in the right way? And hopefully, again, our reading will help us to do that. So here's some things we can reflect on and think about as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.